The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 198.
Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our blog at thetaoofselfconfidence.com.
Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal woman on today. She is a feminine power coach for successful women, and I'm just really honored to have her on and share her story. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lauren Peters. Lauren, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hey, I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me. I am originally from Chicago. I live in California now. And like you said, I'm a life coach, but I definitely didn't start out my life as a life coach. I started out about 7 to 10 years in academia, getting my college degrees in design. And then I went out into the agency world and I worked in design for quite a while until I kind of popped. And it was a couple years ago that I finally decided to go out on my own entrepreneurial journey. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Lauren, what's your cultural background?
I am half Filipino, and I tell people I'm also half hillbilly, but what that really means is that I have a little Scottish and Dutch on the Caucasian side of me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Lauren, what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Favorite self-confidence quote. So there was a bunch. This took me a while to find one that really fit me. So here it is. The best way to gain self-confidence is to do what you are afraid to do. And that's said by Swati Sharma. And the reason why I chose this one is because it really resonates with my just go out and jump off of a cliff. Do the things that I have always been so afraid to do and not really think too much about what bad was going to happen, because ultimately, if I was able to jump, I always ended up succeeding no matter what.
Awesome. And I love that quote. And, I think we all go through that, right? Just, we get scared, not knowing, thinking that there's always like the bad outcome out of it, not realizing that something good can come out. And especially if it's something that resonates with you and it's like your divine purpose, the universe or whoever you believe in is not going to lead you astray and put you in a position that you can't get out of. There's always something good that will come out of it. So, and that's what confidence is, just like feeling that fear and doing it anyway, because we all get scared. It's just taking action on it, and, it gets less scary the more we do it. So great definition. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
There's like so many definitions for me. I do a lot of feminine power work, and I essentially help women at no matter what level they are find confidence in who they are. And you can have different areas of your life that you're super confident about, and then other areas that you're not super confident about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, what I do is I help women look at this full spectrum of femininity, like your feminine anger, your feminine sexual side, the achiever, the mother, the child. And a lot of people will have self-confidence in one of them and maybe not another one. So my definition of self-confidence is pretty much no matter what part of your femininity, of your being that you're looking at, is being able to feel centered in who you are, being able to be present in that moment without fearing the future or worrying about the past. And from this stillness in a present moment, being able to just choose whatever you want to choose without fear.
I love that definition. And I think most of us forget to stay still and just be in that present moment, being aware of the present and what's around us. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And Lauren, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I'm going to be honest here. I have always been a little bossy girl. I've always been what other people would see as self-confident. And it was almost like I always walked into the room knowing that I could help people in a certain way and being really certain that I could help people, even if I didn't know how. I think that at the times in my life when I became not confident about something is when I forgot that when you know you can help someone, sometimes it's not about the how. And when I sat there and worried about the how, then I would become completely unconfident about my abilities. Now I know that I have abilities. I know who I want to serve. And it's essentially me future tripping when I try to figure out how to serve these people. How am I going to serve these people? Am I going to be able to do it? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, right? So it's just having confidence that you have been equipped with the tools and they are your natural gifts, and then to start worrying about how that's going to happen, it did me a disservice. So I've gone up and down in my self-confidence throughout my life, but I would encourage everyone that's listening to this is to know that you're inherently self-confident. If you could just stop worrying about how you're going to do this or how you might not be able to do this, right? So it's just identifying what you're great at, what you want to learn more about, and being available and open to serve people in that way.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think we all get stuck in the how to. It's like, well, what if it doesn't work? Or what if I'm doing this wrong? And I always believe if you have a strong why, the how will always come to you. Because I know for me, it's just like the universe is going to show you the way, right? And you'll know it because you can feel it that like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. And this is how I can help people. And, that how to goes away because now it's like these things come to you naturally. And, what was that moment in your life when you realized like, it's not always about the how-tos, right? The future tripping, like you mentioned, like what was that moment in your life when you realized you were just more than enough?
I really like this question. I think that this question doesn't really apply to me, and I'll tell you why. My aha moment wasn't some moment where I woke up one day and I fell down the stairs and I'm like, aha, I'm good enough. I'm going to be able to do anything that I want now. And I think a lot of people think that that's what's going to happen, and then they're going to live happily ever after. But for me, in my experience, I have many aha moments throughout the days, throughout the weeks. And each aha moment allows me to get to my next level that I was essentially wanting to get to. And so, there was a moment when I was 24 where I had a near-death experience, and that was very life-changing. But I still suffered from this not enoughness in some ways or another. And even today, sitting here, like I teach women about self-confidence and femininity, and there are even parts about me that I'm still not fully self-confident about. And I found beauty in that. I found beauty in the slow process of understanding that, understanding my confidence stuff, instead of trying to get rid of it or trying to bypass it by trying to find something positive. So I never had a really big aha moment. I have many of them throughout the day. And it's like in every moment, I'm becoming a better and better woman. I have aha moments every single second of my life.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think we all go through that, right? Just feeling like, even though we're talking about self-confidence, we're not always 100% confident, right? There's still times where I feel like, what am I doing? Is this really, something that I can do? Can I really help people? And even though those things run through my mind and, the same might go for you, you just keep on going because, you and I both know there's something that we can help women out there offer to the world, help them become, the person that they are. And like I said, confidence is just feeling that fear and doing it anyway, regardless of the outcome. So, with these mini breakthroughs and going to the next level, what's your life been like now?
Oh, it's been so good. There was a transition last year that I went through where I was really angry at the universe because I was like trying to force my way through success. And I was like, why am I not succeeding? I was telling the universe, like, what do you want me to do? I'm doing everything that I know. And just over time, with a lot more failure, I started to really understand my relationship with the universe. And although I was saying that I trusted, I didn't trust it. And so just recently, I have begun to trust the universe and all its processes and how much it really wants to support me in my happiness and success, and just really letting go of a lot of stuff. It was almost like I had all of these strategies to prove how the universe was not supporting me, and then creating some really like dumb situations in my life. So since that sort of period, which was last year, I've been experiencing so much more flow. And what I mean by that is just like waking up in the morning, not being worried about what I have planned or not planned that day, if I didn't do something right or not. Really giving myself the time in the morning to pay attention to my morning routines, my gratitude stuff, my meditations, my body work. And that beautiful foundation of routine also allows me to continue to flow throughout my day. So I mean, my money story is completely different. Like, I don't have an issue selling $5,000 packages and more, right? I'm up leveling each time a new client comes through. And not just the money, my relationship is getting better with my boyfriend, my life partner. I moved from a really desolate and gross place to California and this beautiful community of people who really love me. It's just, I'm seeing myself continuously jumping off the cliff to prove that I actually do have the self-confidence, and really just going for things that I never thought that I would go for. And it's not me just like taking a complete risk. This is me working off of my intuition that's pulling at my soul, right? And so after this transition, I guess this discovery, which I've told you recently just now, like this discovery is happening more and more every day. It's just things are flowing. People that I love are coming in and wanting to spend time with me. Clients are coming to me. I'm not having to come to them. And that's essentially what I mean by flow.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, I believe in having that flow, like you mentioned, it just flows easy. And then things just, I guess it's something that you can't really describe unless you really feel it. It's just, it feels more at peace. You feel more like your authentic self. And, it's great that you're able to experience that. And Lauren, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
Stop trying to solve your self-confidence ideas. Just jump off of the fucking cliff.
I love it. It's short, sweet, and very impactful. Sometimes we have to just jump off that cliff and I always say the universe has our back, even if it doesn't look like it. So thanks for sharing that. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, you can find me, my very small website, laurenpeters.co. And then you can also look for me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/LaurenNP. That's LAURENNP. That's 2 N's. I tried to make that as confusing as possible for you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Lauren, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Lauren's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really just want to thank Lauren for taking the time to share her story and journey with us. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you on and share your story. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetowofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about today, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more. Start your inner journey to self-confidence today.